Hey mum and dad, how you doing? Welcome to the first video in a three-part series of how to get your child into Oxford. So, let's do it. Okay, what we're going to cover today is the importance of starting early. So what do I mean by that? There are kids as young as like 8 and 10 that begin to get groomed to go to Oxford. Now that's not to say from 8 years old this is something you should be worrying about or planning for, but what I do mean is if you've got a child that's currently in secondary school, for example, then their GCSEs and their A-levels or the International Baccalaureate or whatever relevant qualification that you might have will matter. The expectations to get into red brick universities, especially of course Oxford and Cambridge, are pretty steep. It comes as a given that you want kind of all A's or all top marks across the board, pretty much. And even then that isn't always enough, but it's definitely the place that you need to start at. Now there's always of course exceptions to the course, but where and when you can, start early. So what I mean by that is, from the age of 15, start building routines for your children so that they can fit in periods of homework each day, for example, a set time each day where it's TVs off, laptops, mobiles, internet all off, and they're working with their textbook, or they're working on the computer and you can use certain applications to shut off Facebook and social media programs just for 1 hour a day as an example. Now of course you want your child to have the ambitions, of course, to get into Oxbridge, and that's going to be part and parcel of the actual race, shall we say. So starting early is super important, and there's lots of strategies that can be employed in terms of how to most effectively revise, how to make sure you get good grades across your subjects, and all of these kinds of things. And the brilliant thing is that there's a ton of free resources online on the internet as to how you can do that. We've got a bunch here at Meet My Tutor. If you head over to the YouTube channel, there's a ton of videos that I've got based all around education. So do use the free resources that are available to you, and of course in this series you're going to get a set of advice that will help you with that. So things to consider are when starting early is look at the courses, look at the course outline, look at the specifications for the course, look at the kind of former students that have already gone to the course and see what kind of CVs they've had, if you will. You can find these people through various Facebook group searches, as well as location and education searches, and even general Googling, or calling up an admissions office and asking them for advice as to how to go about it. And that's again another part of getting your child ready and starting early. Call up the university, ask them exactly what's required for this specific subject and get a sense of who their former students are. And you will find the secretaries or whoever it might be you'll be speaking to in admissions can be quite forthcoming. So to reiterate, I cannot emphasize enough that getting all A's across the board for GCSEs and A-levels will really help you get your child into Oxford or Cambridge, and that is the first part of the puzzle, getting those marks to make sure they can take it to that next level. And there's private tutors that you can use through obviously the Meet My Tutor website, but as well as Google and the things that I was saying, it's also great to try and instill the right kind of attitude for your child, so that they're happy and prepared to work hard because they appreciate the value that a name such as Oxford and Cambridge does do for your CV. Despite the different questions there are around education, there's no doubt that having a premier name like that on your CV and the things it will give you in terms of learning, expertise and experience and all of that are perhaps unparalleled. So start your child early, build some routines for your education, also that they've got daily times to set out work. Have a look yourself for revision hacks and methods for effective tuition and teaching, and try and play an active part in the education of your child. It will really help. That's part one, and in part two we're going to be talking about, well, I've got it here actually, yes, extracurricular activities mattering, and what exactly I mean by that. That's what we're going to go through in video two. See you soon.